The History of Norse Integration, Part 3. Since so many of you are asking for it, I'll make a playlist. Today we're going to go over Rollo and Normandy and bride prices. Let's destroy some supremacist narratives with history. Were you aware that one of the main reasons men in Old Norse society would seek wives elsewhere? Because the cost of the brides were too damn high. Due to a shortage of marriageable women, of course, there was a bit of inflation. There are also socioeconomic developments that might prod a young man into traveling abroad to find a mate, like the desire to have one's own land, high taxes from their jarl or king. Harald Hardrada was synonymous with this, and one of the reasons we got Iceland. As Harald Hardrada consolidated power, he raised taxes, like in Ireland. It's hypothesized that that's one of the main reasons there's so much Irish DNA in Iceland. Also, don't forget that young men seeking to sow their wild oats tend to get into trouble and find themselves declared outlaw, or outlawry, or banished. To summarize, there was lesser outlawry, which meant no aid, or greater outlawry, which means on sight. Now then, another massive example of Old Norse integration would be Rollo. In exchange for not raiding France any longer, he and his men were granted a tract of land to the north of France. It's estimated that his fleet was 700 ships and several thousand men. Now then, not every ship and every man that went raiding with Rollo went with him to Normandy, but a large portion did. After all, there would be land to be had, no bride price, and plenty of opportunity. Think of it, it's not every day that an army will get an opportunity to start a new country from scratch. Rollo and his army would take French wives. There weren't many to be had back home, don't forget. So we have established France, Ireland, England, and Wales, settling or marrying with the Inuit, the Sami, and the Mongolian. Settling and taking wives in the Byzantine Empire wasn't about race. It wasn't culture. It was about opportunity. And traditional marriages back in the main Nordic countries were more about a business contract. That's why polygamy and cheating was so rampant. No one was happy. It was about status, reputation, and royal bloodlines. Only elite person stuff. We can't leave out building that generational wealth. So what do you think a young man is going to do when there's a lack of opportunity, a lack of wives, and you weren't born of the upper class? You seek opportunities elsewhere. Clearly not caring about the color of their skin. Clearly not caring about the eye color or hair color of that individual. And you'd get a shot at marrying for happiness, love, or lust, and not business. Basically, a better shot at a prosperous future for you and your offspring. Often, your mixed offspring. Don't forget, carrying on a family line was extremely important to the Old Norse. Take a second to see how frustrating it might be with a lack of opportunity to do this high priority thing. And if the ancestors had any kind of that fictional Aryan belief, well, all those examples I gave earlier never would have happened. And well, Norse DNA wouldn't be nearly on every continent on the planet. And to those Aryans, I would say, free your mind with history, not World War II propaganda. Just something to think about, and I'll talk to you next time. Ah, cha 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 cha.